Hello, and welcome to the Enrichment Emporium. My name is Nicole, and today we are going to be making flower seed bombs. To create your seed bombs, you will need 1 to 2 sheets of construction paper, a blender, a strainer, some wax paper, any plant seed of your choosing, and a container with about 2 cups of water or more. The first step in creating our seed bombs is to take your container that has water in it and your construction paper and tear your construction paper into smaller pieces. I like this size, but you can get them even smaller if you would like. You're going to take your pieces of construction paper that you tore and you're going to put them in the container that has water in it. You can use multiple sheets of paper. You can change the color up. I like using green and blue because when my seed bomb is completed, it looks like the planet Earth. But you can use any color combination that you like. 2 sheets of paper is a good amount for 2 to 3 seed bombs. If you want to add more paper, you'll have more seed bombs. You want to submerge the paper in the water. Make sure it's really soaking up all of that liquid. And again, it does not matter the size that you're tearing because we will be putting this in the blender next. You just make it smaller and in the water. Dunk it in the water. All right, both of my sheets of construction paper are in this container with water. I'm then going to take my blender and pour everything inside my blender. All the water and all the paper. It's really important that you put enough water in here so that you don't ruin your blender or overwork your blender. If you choose not to use a blender, that's fine. You can just tear your paper and let it sit in the water a little longer, about 5 to 10 minutes. If you decide to not use a blender, your paper will have to sit in that water for about that time. If you also aren't using a blender, tearing them into very small pieces, about this size, works best. All right, all of that is in my blender. I am then going to turn my blender on and we'll see what happens. All right, I've blended up my paper and water mixture. And now I'm going to take my strainer, and I added a container underneath so that the water has somewhere to go. And I'm going to pour what I blended up right into the strainer. You'll notice that you've created a sort of pulp from the blender. I'm just going to push that down and get all the excess moisture out. Sometimes the water likes to pool on top of the paper, but we are only interested in the paper, so we're going to push that down. You can scoop it up with your hands and squeeze and wring it out that way. All right, and I have a pretty sizable blob of paper. I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to take my wax paper and put my paper wad onto that. The next part is I'm going to break my paper ball in half, and I'm going to take some seeds. And I'm going to pour some seeds onto my wax paper. You don't need a lot, but again, you can choose you can use as many or as little seeds as you'd like. And I'm going to sort of flatten out half of my paper circle, and I'm going to sprinkle seeds on top of it, like so. I chose wildflower seeds, but you can choose any type of plant seed that you'd like to grow in your garden. Okay. After I've sprinkled my seeds on top of my paper, I'm going to fold it up so that you no longer see the seeds. And then I'm going to shape it into a little ball. And then I'm going to take my second half of my paper ball, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sprinkle seeds. And then I'm going to close the seeds up and make a smaller little ball. So we've completed our plant seed bombs. How did yours turn out? What other plant seeds do you think you could have used? What other shapes do you think you could have made your seed bombs out of? That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for joining me as we made plant seed bombs. Be sure to check out the Enrichment Emporium for more cool project ideas, and we'll see you next time.